Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on Bent Larsen sacrificing his queen for only 2 pieces on move 9. Quite an amazing game. After showing you the game, I will give you the question for week 4 of the competition. You can win a chess book, so keep an eye out for that one. But let's first look at the game. Johnny Nielsen was the white player, Bent Larsen, the legendary Danish grandmaster, was black. It was played in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, in 1965. Let's have a look at the game. Nielsen opened c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7. We're looking at this game from the point of view from Larsen, from the black side. d4, d6, e4, knight d7, bishop e3, knight gf6, and f3. We are in the same-ish King's Indian opening. Larsen castled, queen d2, c5, this is the main line, knight ge2, and here the main move is a6. But Larsen goes for something else. Instead of a6, he plays queen a5 here. Knight d5 from Nielsen, and of course now Larsen's queen is hanging. You can take on d2 with check, then king takes, knight takes d5, e takes d5 with an equal position. But Bent Larsen does not take on d2. He takes the knight on d5, leaving his queen unprotected on a5. He's sacrificing the queen for only 2 pieces, and he writes in his book Selected Games, "I'm not sure that the sacrifice is correct in this position, but it shows courage and imagination." And it sure does. Courage, determination, and great chess skills. Nielsen took the piece, took the queen, queen takes a5, and knight takes e3, gaining the second piece for the queen. Queen back to d2, and c takes d4. It seems that black has sufficient compensation for the queen. He has 2 pieces, he has a compact position, he has an octopus on e3, that is not a knight like that we call an octopus, and the white queen does not have any clear targets. So for the moment, black is doing fine. Here you cannot take the pawn on d4 with white, because then there is bishop takes d4, queen takes d4, and a nasty fork on c2 from the knight, from the octopus. King f2, knight takes d4, and the smoke has cleared and black is 2 knights up. So that is not playable for white. He cannot take on d4. White saw that and played knight f4. And here black can immediately win a 3rd piece for the queen. He could have taken on f1. It didn't happen. And after king takes f1, there is bishop h6, pinning that knight, and you will win the knight. For example, g3, e5, and black is going to win the knight. Is fine here with 3 pieces for the queen. But Larsen did not go for that. After knight f4, he did not take on f1. He played knight b6. He is going for an attack on white's king. Knight d5 from Nielsen. That knight was taken. C takes d5 and f5. Bishop d3. Larsen took on e4. Bishop takes e4. e6. And now white should have played a safe move, king f2. Maybe first taking on e6 is also an option. And then Larsen writes that he has to admit that there seems to be no clear attack for black. But he did not play king f2, he played rook c1. And that move was given a question mark by Larsen in his analysis. E takes d5 from Larsen for a while. Larsen has the Irish pawn center, which we call 3 pawns in the center of the board, lined up like that. Rook c7, another question mark. White's idea must have been that if black now takes that bishop that is hanging on e4, d takes e4, then white gets a good position, because there is rook takes g7 check. And if you take that rook, there is queen takes d4 check, forking king and knight. King g8, queen takes e3, and this is a good position for white. So that must have been the idea behind rook c7. But now Larsen plays a very strong move, bishop h6, to take that combination out of the position. If you play bishop d3 to save your bishop, then there is rook e8, and there's no good way for white to meet the discovered check. This knight will jump away with a discovered check, and of course we also have this, and we have that arrow. White is in big trouble here. Just to show you one variation, the queen cannot even save itself by going to a5, because then there is knight c4 check. The rook gives check to the king, and the knight is attacking the queen. So black will win the full queen here. So that is after bishop h6, and then we played bishop d3. So that doesn't work because of rook e8, and white decided to play g4. Now Larsen took that bishop, and he now has a third piece for the queen and a winning position. White took on d4, rook takes f3, queen takes e4, bishop takes g4, rook g1, rook a f8, rook took on g4, knight takes, and here white could have taken on g4 straight away with the queen, but he played queen e6 check first. King went to h8, and now he took back on g4. Black is now going to checkmate the white king. Rook e8 check, and here Nielsen played a very strange move, rook e7. Well, he's going to lose that rook anyway, so he's giving it away here. Maybe he was hoping for some back rank tricks or perpetual checks with queen c8, but everything goes with check here, and it's not working. Larsen's comment in his annotations is sardonic humor, and sardonic means grimly, mocking, or cynical. Yes, I had to look it up. So rook e7 was played. If you don't play rook e7, but you play king d1 to get out of the check, then you're going to lose that rook on c7 anyway, as I said, because of rook f1 check, king c2, and rook c1 check. That rook is protected by the bishop, and it is skewering that rook there. So king b3, rook takes c7, and black has a winning position. So Nielsen did it differently. He gave away his rook straight away. Larsen took with check. Everything goes with check. King d1, rook f1 check, king c2, rook f2 check, king d1, rook d2 check, protected by the bishop on h6, and Nielsen resigned. It's mate in 2. King c1 is the only move, rook e1 check, and you can only interpose your queen, and then rook e takes d1 is checkmate. Wonderful game from Bent Larsen, a queen sacrifice on move 9 for only 2 pieces. Yes, he was not playing against the strongest possible opponent, but even so, it was very courageous to sacrifice the queen, and as it looked, black had never a bad position. Hope you enjoyed this game. On to the competition. You can win a chess book, and all you have to do is to tell me what is your favorite chess piece, and explain that please in 1 sentence only. And I'm looking of course for creative entries, so you can say My favorite piece is the queen because it's the strongest piece on the board. Well, that is fine, but it will probably not win this competition. So let your creativity flow. You can enter the competition by posting a comment underneath this video or by sending an email to classroomchess@gmail.com, and I will publish the results on Saturday, November 4th. This competition is sponsored by the Mind Game Shop. The link is there. It's also in the description box. Please click on the link to see what the Mind Game Shop has to offer. Thank you for doing that. This competition, it's a weekly competition, will run for 6 weeks. We started on October 7th and will finish on November 11th. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel. Please leave a comment. And if you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media. This wonderful Queen Sacrifice by Bent Larsen. You also may want to check out my Chess to Progress channel. The link is in the description box. This is Rick from Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.